Well, it's over. It's me, Bus Driver, and welcome back to Hot or Rat. And today we're gonna be reviewing the grand finale of Sasha Colby's Drag Race. And we got a lot to cover today, including a hot or rot speed run through the red carpet finale looks, the crowning of Miss Congeniality, the quote-unquote original performances of our final four, the lip sync between Anetra and Sasha, and of course, Sasha's actual crowning. So buckle up, because there's some bumps. I need to get checked out. Nurse! First up, I do believe in green moth fairies. And they came real. It's Irene Dubois. She's in this green alien moth fantasy. I'm sure Michelle loved it. And I love how she has integrated different materials throughout this look, like the feathers that are in the hair, in the wings. It's ethereal, but also strange and weird and otherworldly. All of what we know and love from Irene, but done to the nth level. This look is hot. Next up, Eve 6000 was right. The Mystique Princess Poppy has built up around herself, grows larger every single day. First her disappearance, then quitting drag, then the Rebecca Glasscock entrance look last week, and now this brilliant reference on the red carpet tonight. She's giving us Regina George from Mean Girls at the Spring Fling after Katie didn't push her in front of the bus. And this look tonight does the original so much justice. It is a fully dragged up version of what Regina George was wearing. Like, I love all the extra bedazzling on the back brace and how she's turned that pink dress into a full length gown, but kept the reference immediately recognizable. Princess Poppy, this look is hot. And next up, something sweet. It's Sugar, and she here tonight is in this beautiful, almost monochromatic light blue look, but there's some really beautiful ombre fades of that light blue into white that make this look so interesting visually. It gives your eye a lot of different places to travel without being too busy. I also love the play of the different materials. There are some, I think it's like a silicone or vinyl on that top part with the swirls, mixed with the more traditional fabrics. And about this look, Sugar has written on Instagram, I woke up in the middle of the night a few months ago and was fixated on a swan masquerade mask I had hanging on my mirror, only for me to receive my finale look inspo from it. And there she is in the wig. Peep the crystal swan. This look is hot. Next up, it's Amethyst. And our favorite little crystal tonight is giving us a very Y2K kind of teen pop star inspired look. My immediate thought was of Xenon, the girl of the 21st century, but it seems her reference point maybe was actually from the cartoon Fairly Odd Parents. On Twitter, she wrote, is that teen pop sensation Brittany, who was like a character that would appear from time to time on the show. And I also love that she kept something special for the actual main stage. She rips off that giant tulle skirt to reveal those bell-bottom kind of pop star Y2K pants that are just so cute, and those zigzag design elements really complement her silhouette and give her some great body-yaddy. This look is hot. And I know what you're thinking. How does Bussy Queen look so beautiful all the time? The answer? Well, about 3 layers of paint and spackle applied to a canvas of consistently clear skin, made possible thanks to today's video sponsor, Curology. And now, my updated Curology skincare routine. First, I cleanse with the all-new Curology Acne Cleanser. It's formulated with lower levels of benzoyl peroxide to help treat and prevent acne. And next, I apply my custom formula prescribed to me by a Curology dermatology provider. This is the secret sauce in my routine that keeps my skin free of breakouts, clogged pores, blackheads, and more. And finally, I apply the rich moisturizer formulated with hyaluronic acid, aloe, and shea butter. And then of course I go into my studio to get better lighting and then tuck myself into bed. Good night. And then in the mornings I wash, moisturize, and if I'm going outside, apply the Curology sunscreen, which by the way I love. It's grease-free, melts right into my skin, and doesn't make me break out like other sunscreens. I first noticed my breakouts were less frequent and less severe after just a couple of weeks of using Curology, and over time I've noticed improvements in my skin's fine lines and excessive forehead oiliness. Plus, if anything pops up, I just throw on an emergency spot patch, leave it overnight, and in the morning it's pretty much gone. Remember though, your results may vary, and Curology's not a miracle working product. There will be good days and there will be bad days, but with Curology, I have found more good days than I ever have before. And you can start your Curology journey today by clicking the link in the description of my video. On their site, you'll take a quick quiz to assess your skincare needs and upload 3 selfies. Then a dermatology provider will take a look at everything and prescribe a custom formula if it's right for you and a skincare routine to work alongside it. And then you can use the Curology portal at any time to manage your upcoming shipments and even add new things to your box to try, like maybe the Curology lip balm. Their truly vegan beeswax-free formula that's like butter. And if you've got any questions about your routine, a Curology dermatology provider is just a click away in the messages tab. Click the link in the description of my video to start your Curology journey today. Thanks Curology for sponsoring today's video and helping me find pride in my skin. Next up, something fierce this way comes. It's Robin. Fierce, that is. And Robin tonight is in an all black and white gown. Gorgeous, gorgeous gowns. I'm really loving the structured details of the pieces of this look because it's kind of like a corset bodice and then a skirt that appears to be separated from that beneath. And the separation of these pieces gives her outfit an almost armor-esque quality while still being super elegant and feminine and refined, like with those open exposed clavicles. I also have the subtle matching details of the white pieces of hair interwoven through the black beehive. This look is classy, elegant, fierce, and hot. And next up, we've got a full moon. It's Aura Mayari, and she is here to make a statement tonight. At the end of the runway, she opens up this giant fan, having PTSD flashbacks to the gays in the club on the dance floor that get the fans and go clack, 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 clack. That drives me wild. Aura's fan, not annoying. Actually really awesome. It says drag is not a crime, which of course fits really well into the political climate and state of drag in the US and really the world, and also fits in with really what I think has become the theme of the season. And Aura's look overall is that sort of understated yet super refined futuristic beauty that she brings to her fashion. I love all these super sharp details and points like in her hair and makeup matching the sharp cuts on her gown that have these really beautiful little cutouts. This look is hot. Y'all, I keep looking at my lips in the camera. This is one of those days when you're like painting your makeup and you're like, I'm gonna go slightly bigger than usual. And then you keep trying to make things even, and before you know it, you're in your All-Star 75 lips era. Kiss, kiss. Next up, it's Jax. And she here tonight is in all denim. Hardly know him. And this look I think is a really interesting look from Jax. Definitely on theme with what we've seen from her though. She always goes for very strappy, detailed, usually asymmetrical, with lots of cutouts that sometimes have worked in her favor and other times maybe have not. But this tonight is a home run. Yeehaw, this look is hot. This look is yee hot. Yee yee. And next up, our self-proclaimed queen of demon twinks tonight. It's Spice. That title is from her Instagram post where she wrote that she's serving Queen of Demon Twinks, serving Collector Edition Final Form. And she here tonight is giving us a little she-devil by night on the runway. And I immediately love this look because A, I love a bad girl, and B, I think it was made even more interesting by how nice or good that Sugar's was next to Spice's tonight. And them doing a sort of opposites thing is of course not new, but Spice going full on Queen of Demons Eleganza and Sugar going full on Beautiful Blue Swan really took their opposites thing to a new level. Spice's look is absolutely hot. Oh, and speaking of Spice, where my barb's at, did y'all see that the queen has apparently finally picked her princess? Ice Spice, the reign of Princess Diana begins. And I'm not wondering how many of y'all just heard complete gibberish and all of that. Next up, it's Malaysia Babydoll Foxx. And girl, first we have to address the fox in the room. Y'all called me out, I saw the comments, all 500 of them, and I was wrong, okay? The ears that she was wearing in last week's look and has worn before are fox ears, not cat ears. I said they were cat ears, so thank y'all for letting me know. Tonight, though, there are no ears for me to confuse as the wrong animal. She's just in a gorgeous, gorgeous gown. And she did share the original inspiration for this look on Instagram, and she has recreated it in her own flavor in all red. I really love this color, the material, the tendrils. It's almost kind of evil, like a thorny garden type of thing for me. And this look still is, I think, giving that pageant perfection that Malaysia likes to bring to her drag, but in a slightly different iteration that is exciting to see. This look is hot. And we also have to talk about Miss Malaysia leaving the finale $10,000 richer. We had a really fun moment in the middle of the finale where Willow Pill was there giving her speech, looking drop dead gorgeous, and she introduces Cornbread to announce the winner of this year's Miss Congeniality, which she does in an original rap format, by the way. That was phenomenal. And Malaysia winning this title definitely made sense to me. I was thinking it would either be her or maybe Robin Fierce. But considering Malaysia was on the season longer, she of course had more time to develop relationships with her peers who ultimately cast the vote for this title. Some fans though were apparently not too happy about this. Cornbread tweeted this out. Let me explain something to y'all. Cast votes congeniality, not fans. So bitch, it don't matter who you think should win. Your favorite didn't win. So what? Get over it. That 10K's still clear. And next up, this is Little Bo Peep now. Feel old yet? It's Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. And trend alert, she is also in all red tonight. I think there were 3 or 4 different girls in all red, but her all red is all 60s. She is, as she says, giving a Mary Poppins, Audrey Hepburn kind of fantasy. And overall, I'll say this look is cute. Like, that is the epitome of Marcia's drag, is cute. She's just this doe-eyed little lamb, like walking through the forest. And like, stylistically, no, this is not something I would wear or something I even particularly like, but I will say I do appreciate the reference and I think she has done it well. And like, for her and her brand, yes, I'm gonna give this look a hot. And next up, grab a fork, it's Salina EsTitties. Girl, she is the queen of doing too much, but I will say she has refined doing too much in a really interesting and draggy way. And this look, as I see it, is basically her as a doll figurine on top of a cake. She's got her name on a ribbon on one arm, and then all these more abstract flower reference details on the front of her dress, and then she's got a fabric pattern kind of cascading down the bottom. And then when she turns around, you can actually see that there is a piece of her dress missing or made to look like that, with layers of cake on the inside. And side note, do y'all remember those viral videos that were going around a few years ago where everything that people would cut into would be cake? Cell phone? Cake. Can of soda? Cake. Drag queen? Cake. Let them eat? EsTitties. This look is hot. And next up, Halloween's early, it's Spooky LaDuca. So one of my critiques this season for Miss Spooky LaDuca was her spooky looks didn't necessarily go all the way. I just was thinking, wow, wouldn't this be so much cooler if she would have pushed the envelope a bit more? And here, I think she has done that. She's got what's supposed to be a rib cage on the front part of this gown made up of like gold crystals, and she's kind of giving a Nosferatu zombie vampire fantasy. And my favorite detail of the whole look is she leans her head down at the end of the runway and has her scalp cut open with an exposed brain. Like, that is brilliant. In terms of redeeming some of her horror runways that maybe missed the mark a little bit on this season, I would give this look a hot. But for the finale main stage, the last moment where you can really leave an impression on the fans and give them something to bite onto, I'm not so sure this made a lot of sense. I would give this look a rot, but it's nice to see her having fun. And next up, getting into our final 4, we've got Anetra, who's leaping over women with BFAs. All these damn drag queens weaponizing their BFAs. Iconic Drag Race Tweets Hall of Fame. This look that Anetra is in, really beautiful. It's almost like a kimono, but also a gown. And I love the severity of those giant collar pieces and the black and the red and that gorgeous flower detailing on the corset. Everything about this is so beautiful and absolutely hot look from her. And for her solo, she does a performance to a quote unquote original song called Lotus. And I'm saying quote unquote original because the way the final 4 were talking about these songs and little confessional moments of the finale, it sounded like they were going to actually be singing in them. But as it turns out, they just had like the people trapped in the World of Wonder basement singing these songs, and that really threw me off. I did not like that. I know they did that last year, but I was hoping they wouldn't do it again this year, but they did. Guess what, Mimi? They did. And Anetra's song, Lotus, is about growing, thriving, surviving, pushing through the mud in the bottom of the swamp and coming out a beautiful flower on top of the water. And her performance to this track, in terms of choreography, lip syncing, yada yada, I thought was very solid. It was, I will say though, a more refined performance from Anetra. Generally in her lip syncs goes like 1000% on the energy with all the different dance moves and choreo, but I think was saving some of that for the final lip sync. Plus, this being a more serious number, I can understand that maybe you shouldn't want to go balls to the wall on it. So like what Anetra did for this song, I would give a hot, but the track, yeah, I'm gonna give a rot. So like, let's meet in the middle here and just say this overall was like a warming. And next up, Luxx Noir London, who on the runway tonight is, and I think, one of the most understated and glamorous looks on the runway. This is such a gorgeous look. It's kind of reminding me actually of the look she created in the ball, but more refined and in like a soft pink. And I love the feathers coming off the top of her hair and of course around her waist. She looks so delicate yet glamorous, and I'm just really happy about this look. It's absolutely hot. And also we've got another trend alert, kind of giving Swan here. Turn Sugar. Is Luxx the lost triplet? Maybe so. But for her performance tonight, do I love Luxx Noir London? Yes. Did I enjoy her on Drag Race? Yes. Did I like this performance? No. But was that her fault? This track to me felt so generic. Any queen is gonna tell you that they're the queen of fashion, that they're the ones killing it on the runway, etc, etc. And like, yes, Luxx did do that all season, but where are those like funny, dry little comments and Drag Race references, and gagged him a little bit for sure in this track? Like, why is it all just about fashion this, fashion that? It was basically a recreation of like Milk's All Stars 3 Touch the Fashion, Change Your Life, but like maybe produced a little bit better. And the other issue I took with this track was like, we know Luxx is an incredible vocalist, and why not just have her sing on this? Like, it didn't make any sense. Nothing was making sense. But again, I don't think that was her or any of the girls' fault that these tracks were kind of weird. What we saw visually from Luxx, hot. But what we heard auditorially, rat. And next up, Your Honor, she's gathering. It's Mistress Isabelle Brooks. And girl, if there's one thing Mistress is gonna do, it's serve a damn good runway. Oh my God, she looked untouchable tonight. I don't know what that material is. It's like holographic or something, but it was phenomenal. The way it played with the light, and then also had this like gold applique on the bottom of that mermaid skirt. Top tier drag for Mistress tonight. She's giving holographic, fully proportionized Barbie doll, and yeah, this look is hot. And for her performance, this is when things started to look up for me. She is giving us an homage to her time on Drag Race talking about Drag Race delusion and confusion. And is she patient zero or does she have the cure? Maybe both. She's giving us like a hot, sexy nurse costume, but all dragged up. And I really love what she did, specifically in the look when she did the reveal and has these like chap gloves. But aside from the look, I enjoyed Mistress's performance more than the previous two we've talked about because it started to feel a little more unique and custom to Mistress. Like, this was a thematic thing with her that ran through the season, and now here we are having it as a nice little end cap. And I did enjoy when she was lifted up by all the backup dancers. So overall, I would actually give her performance a high. I also wanted to highlight on Twitter when she was thanking the producers and the channel and everybody for making everything possible this season. She posted a photo where she had like 10 suitcases around her. It was a photo of her like going to Drag Race. And I think we can finally use this photo to set the 4 suitcase rumor to rest. There was, if you're not aware, talk about how the queens are only allowed like a certain number of suitcases to go into the season. And it was like 3 or 4, but I mean, clearly some people need 10. And finally, the reason for the season, the queen of the season, it's Sasha Colby and her look. Oh my God. This is a finale look worth looking at again, admiring, printing out, hanging on your wall. I mean, whatever, like, this is gorgeous fashion. It's an amazing reference to My Fair Lady Audrey Hepburn's look, but in all red. And that is maybe like a symbolic reference to, I don't know, the Scarlet Letter or something. Red is traditionally associated, right, with doing wrong or being an outcast or different, but also being bold and not afraid to be who you are. And that is, I think, so representative of not only the drag journey, but Sasha's journey that she has talked about in terms of her existing in like this current political climate. The metallic corsetry, the gloves, the tulle skirt, the flower tulle headpiece. This look is untouchable. Maybe the best thing that she's worn. I don't know. She's worn a lot of great things, so I'm hesitant to just say that, but I mean, this is damn good. This look is hot. And Sasha's solo tonight was the best of the 4. Coincidence? I don't know, but it was definitely the best in terms of performance and the actual song. And I think it was the best in terms of the actual song because the lyrics didn't try to do too much and the song itself didn't try to bounce back and forth between like empowerment and dubstep. She basically, for the entire duration of this track, was just repeating the letters Goddess, which like is perfect for Sasha Colby, the goddess of drag. And she also interpreted that word goddess into her look, serving a full Medusa fantasy, and comes out in this giant trailing snake tail and then has these braids that kind of look like the Medusa hair snakes. And not only did she look amazing and perform great, but they found really interesting ways to integrate her outfit into the choreo. Like when the dancers were pulling on her pigtails, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, what if she goes left and they pull right and they like snap? Oh, that was freaking me out. But it all went very smoothly and the risk there paid off. And of these 4 performances, this is the one I will go back and rewatch probably over and over and over, because this track, like her time on Drag Race and her effortless beauty, have me hypnotized. This was hot. all around. And after we see our 4 performances, as well as some performances from Orville, Peck, and Jinkx Monsoon, which were phenomenal by the way, we finally get to the lip sync between who RuPaul has selected as the final 2 who will be lip syncing for the title of America's Next Drag Superstar, Anetra and Sasha Colby. Big surprise, right? I mean, come on, who was surprised? Who was surprised? Not me. They lip synced to Knock on Wood by Amy Stewart, and this was, I think, a really fun lip sync from both of them that they interpreted completely differently. Anetra was doing a little bit of voguing, not being shady, just, you know, referencing the joke, mixed with some more serious moments, like where she's tearing her heart out of her chest, and that big red ribbon is kind of giving a little funny gag, but also a really serious, like, metaphorical meaning of blood and such. And then Sasha, on the other hand, is giving us full-on burlesque fantasy. Girl, there's layers and layers and layers of reveals coming off, and each one makes her more and more sexy. I also totally love that at the start of the lip sync, Sasha's just over there standing in this giant, crazy look, giving final anime evil boss wearing like an entire chinchilla farm. And then by the end of it, she's basically wearing a bikini, rolling around on top of it, just like flipping her hair and like, girl, let me look at the material. Look at the material. I think both of these queens, though, did a great job in the lip sync, but Sasha, she took it all away. But don't forget, if you want to see my raw, uncut reaction to the best moments of this finale, I did post that over on my Patreon at patreon.com/BussyQueen. That's my members only website, and you can join and get access to that content by clicking the link in the description of this video. See you there. And my final thoughts on the finale. Overall, I will say I had a lot of fun with it. I also thought the franchise did a great job of intermixing performances, looks, and guest stars coming in, and also did new things, like RuPaul gave Bob Mackie an award, Jinkx did some live singing, Orville Peck did some live singing. I mean, it was just a fun, I think, variety show, and I enjoyed how I found new and creative ways to break up the monotony of like lip sync after lip sync after lip sync after lip sync. And I want to say I'm so proud and happy for all of the queens of this season. I mean, it's clear how much hard work went into every aspect of this finale from everyone involved, and I think everyone involved should be so proud of what they did. My only critique of the finale as a whole was like, yes, it was predictable. Like, did anyone genuinely think that we'd be seeing a final 2 lip sync from anyone besides Anetra and Sasha Colby? And did anyone really think that anyone besides Sasha was gonna be taking home the crown? I don't know. And that's not to say any one of our final 4 couldn't have carried the crown well. I'm just pointing out that the trajectory of the season, the editing, the storylining, and everything about what we saw really felt like the build-up for a Sasha Colby supremacy. And deservedly so. So this predictability in the finale is not really a critique, but rather just an observation. My only real critiques are to the Drag Race producers. If y'all are watching, please get rid of the prepared vocal tracks for these finale performances, unless they are kept really simple, like Sasha Colby's Goddess song. I mean, there's just some strange mismatched stuff going on, and the thing is, we know that the queens can most of the time sing decently, or at least rap. And we know that y'all have the capability to auto-tune them, produce songs really quickly, because we see Final 4 verses and bigger, you know, girl group things all the time. Like, this is something that Drag Race does regularly. Why, for the finale, do we not just do that? Make it make sense. Plus, it would give the queens something that they felt was truly their own, that they could take on the road when they're touring this year. And really, looking at these 4 performances, it just felt like there was maybe some favoritism in the production and lyric writing, and like they're trying to control a narrative. Drag Race producers trying to control a narrative? Rue, I never. Anyways, not to be too critical on that, but I'm gonna be critical on that. And finally, let's talk hottest hats. On the runway and in the performance, yes, I'm gonna give it to Sasha Colby. And I also wanna extend to her a huge congratulations. She had a phenomenal run and absolutely deserves this crown. Here is what she had to say on Twitter about her crowning.
It has been the most incredible season to watch, to be around with these amazing queens here. The best of the best. It is such a privilege to be able to be on the show and to now have a platform to help everyone that looks like us not feel so scared about what's going on in the world, and to know that they still need to be doing drag, honey. Because we're not going anywhere, baby.
And I also asked my patrons to vote on their hottest hot, and yes, they have also chosen Sasha Colby. And finally, I want to say thanks so much to you for watching today's video, and to give a special shout out to Ashley Brungart, Daniel Sandez, Dorothy Hall, Felicia, Frankie, Jeffrey Steenberg, Laura Massett, Louis Labrador, Matthew Burns, Matto, Panda Kitty, Sailor, Stephen Topher, Tyler Hendricks, MD, Billy, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me on patreon.com/BussyQueen at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. Thanks for watching. Love ya. Bye.